Hello everybody, my name is Tess and welcome to my channel. We are back with a brand new Minecraft video, and it's actually been quite a while since I last played Minecraft. I think it has been about 8 months, because I think 8 months ago I departed from the Diamond Society SMP, and I haven't really been touching Minecraft at all because of, life and stuff happens. But anyway, forget about that. I want to start a brand new series. I mentioned this a while ago that I wanted to do a brand new Minecraft series, specifically a creative mode series, because I've always preferred a more creative aspect of the Minecraft, not so much the survival aspect of it because I suck at it. One of the things I want to do for quite some time is actually to do a Minecraft version of Pokemon map, so specifically the Kanto map. So this concept, this idea is not new. If you Google it, you YouTube search it, you can find a lot of people has been doing a lot of Kanto, Minecraft world, and yeah, I've seen the idea before, but I was never particularly impressed by it, I guess, because I don't know. I mean, with no disrespect to any of the creators, they know I can tell they did a lot of work on it. It's just that I want to put a bit of flair to it. I'll put a bit of like design to it, like many of the other creators of this series, and also because this is where Pokemon, the history of Pokemon started. We're gonna start our journey at none other than Pallet Town, and this is sort of my concept of Pallet Town, which you can see that I didn't do it scale by scale. I mean, if you know how Pallet Town look like, if you're familiar with the game, you know that this is sort of what it should look like. But I've expanded the scale to 3 times bigger, so it's 1 to 3. So whatever that's in the game, I pretty much triple, that sounds wrong. I pretty much make it a bit bigger so that there's a bit more space for me to work on. There's a lot more design I could do it, and you can also see that, for example, the red house and blue house, I didn't really base on the exact design that I found in the game, because regardless, I mean, aside from the latest Pokemon, I'm gonna get rid of the sound of the mobs because I don't need mob sound. Okay, that's a lot better. There's no more sound, no more distraction. But I also didn't base my design in terms of the build design based on exactly in the game, because first of all, the game, especially the game I'm referring to being the classic, is Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. Their design are very simple. I mean, we cannot say much about it because the game was in the 90s, so it was made based on what technology was known then. Being a Minecraft builder and being a proud member of, at least a former member of, the Diamond Society, who's really proud of their builds, I cannot stand doing like tiny builds, like simple builds. So I decided to also, that when it comes to building, I want to put my spin to it, especially unique building. So you can see my red building and my blue building is a lot more different. So while the external map is 1 to 3 space, hence there's a lot of space to go around here, the inside of the building are more scale to scale, so it's 1 to 1 as per the game, because I couldn't fit stuff. Okay, it's just, if I were to even expand the interior of it, I would need like a way too huge of a space, and if there's too huge of a space, I wouldn't know what to do with the space. So this is the none other than legendary Red's house, and the concept of it is that I wanted it to be sort of a quaint feeling to it. I did look up the anime, looking at Ash Ketchum's house, just get some inspiration, and pretty much this is what I get. I kind of like it. It has a very basic house design, nothing too fancy, and this is a very small town. Pallet Town is a small town that's like, what, less than 10 population. So we shall go in. So you can see there's like red dye here, which signifies red house. So we go in here, and this is pretty much as per the design of the game, as much as it can be, but I definitely did add a bit of like my own spin to it. So like there's a lamp so that it's not so dark, there's some lighting to it. We go up to Red's room where the game begins. So we have Red's bed here, and I do not know why, but Red actually face here where he wakes up. It doesn't make sense to me, like to put your legs here and put your head here, and it's kind of difficult to get down, and I didn't know where to put his bedside table. There weren't any bedside table in the game, but I needed one for lighting, so I think that's weird. I don't think it's practical, but you know what, whatever. And I've also added some design which I felt like what Red would like. So we have a Pokeball banner, him being like a super Pokemon fan. We have an Ender Dragon head because I don't know, he likes dragon Pokemon, I guess. And then this is my version of his PlayStation. This is the best I could think of when it comes to PlayStation. I think it looks pretty cool. I think it sort of looks what I want it to be. And I actually really like all this new blocks thing, this new deco box. I think it's under decoration. A lot of all this new stuff, which is actually very useful because we could really use all this. And you know, thankfully we are now in 1.1. We are playing 1.143, I think. This is Blue's building, and it's also not as high as Red building because in the game there is no second floor for the Blue's building. So yeah, pretty much that's it. I'm not a big fan of the roof, to be honest, but I honestly do not know what else to do with the roof because despite the fact that I give myself a lot of space, I'm still constrained by the space, you know. Even though the area is 1/3, I'm still pretty much constrained in terms of like the internal space, the interior design, and also the external space. So there's not much I could do about it. And you know, this is just the first building, and this is Blue's building. You know, Blue doesn't need nice stuff. He's arrogant enough. But yeah, we have the blue dye here, which is really weird. I'm not used to seeing the dye here. Then we go to Blue's house. So it's very similar to Red's house in terms of like the design because it's almost the same. I did add a bell because why not? So yeah, pretty much that's what I've done so far. And right now, the only building that's really neat building is Professor Oak's one over here. So you can see that this is sort of my layout of Professor Oak's lab, the interior design in terms of like the 1:1 scale. This is really all the space I need, which is I'm so not used to doing this in creative. But yeah, this is sort of the only space I need for Professor Oak's lab, which obviously is very small compared to when you're playing the game. But this is really all the space we need. So we have like some extra space, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks to do some design. And that's the reason why I want to expand things to 1:3 scale, because by having a larger space, I could do more designs. I could make this place look a lot better. So yeah, we're gonna work on this Professor Oak's building. I don't really have any clue or any idea how I want to do it. So I'm looking into Google image of Professor Oak's lab, the anime one. And even though going into this, you know, building series, I'm actually want to base it mostly on the game, specifically the Generation 1 game, and not so much on the anime. But I am taking, you know, inspiration from the anime, since the anime is derived from the game. So I also, because I really like this building of Professor Oak's lab. I don't think you can see this. This is a bit more clearer. I really like this archway of this house. I've never thought of doing something like that before. So I really want to do something like this. And I think we have sort of like a pretty good shape for it. Like this is the main lab, and this will be the side lab, which we're not going to use this space. This is going to be the main one where over here Professor O's going to give our trainer his Pokeballs and Pokemons and all that. I also really like, if I had a space, I would like to incorporate this chimney thing, but I don't think I can do a chimney, I think like this, directly behind Professor Oak's lab, because this is where Blue's house is going to be, and I don't think there's a lot of space there, so I don't want to, you know, add, you know, a lot of unnecessary items into the space. So we're probably going to, if I'm going to do that, I'm probably going to do like a chimney on top of the roof, which I don't know, really looks weird, but it's just a 1 floor thing, so I think it looks fine. I don't know, but I have some inspiration, I guess. I like say we'll see about the chimney. I don't know about that. I reshaped the size a little bit, kind of push the sides towards the right, so that I can at least build something over here, or wait, wrong block. I can put something over here and put something over here. I can still do some decoration over here. I can't make it any more smaller in terms of like this way, in terms of like the height or the width. I have no idea. Because I need to have at least 10 by 11 space here. So I need 10 here. I need to have 11 space here. And it's actually just nice, so I might have to overlap a little bit, but I think this would be sort of the perfect size for me to start working on. So I'm gonna just put over here. I think maybe between Red's house and Blue's house. So I think 10 would do. Or is it 15? We'll try with 13. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Height, I mean, it kind of overshadows Blue's house a little bit though, but that's why we have a lamp here, just to make sure it doesn't feel so dark. And then we're gonna probably do, this part is gonna be like a useless building. It's just mostly for aesthetic. We're gonna do, this is 13 height, maybe we're gonna do 7. I think 7 is a nice number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we can connect this because the colors kind of blend in together. So it doesn't really matter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So here. This will be sort of our design. A basic design. Now I need to think about how to do the archway. And I have done archway building before. Back in Diamond Society Season 2, which has been quite some time, so I don't really remember how to do it. But I'm just gonna wing it and we shall see if I'm able to do it. I would need some kind of stairs for this, so we have purple stairs, but I don't really like the color of purple stairs, to be honest. I think it's too pink, whereas that is more, well, it's kind of pink. I kind of want to dig the brick stairs again, but I feel like there's too much brick. We could use, oh, I never tried granite stairs. Oh. Well, the funny thing about Professor Oak's house is that Professor Oak has this arc thing first. It came down pretty low, actually. It came down almost touching the arc here, almost touching over here. So I might make this slightly higher. Just 2 blocks higher, just so we can get our odd number. Now, always use odd number in buildings because it makes life a lot easier. 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we can do something like this. So this would pretty much continues over here. So it will have sort of that vibe to it. And then we can use the stairs to kind of polish the side so that it doesn't look so rough on the edge. Oops, should be over here. Then it wouldn't look too bad like this. We are back and my oak lab is almost done. Pretty much everything else, the basic design has been done. I do not know what happened in my last clip. I think what I did was I extended here just to make it a bit longer because it didn't look very pretty when it was kind of short. You know, I kind of want this whole thing to be a roof, so I extended it down a little bit and then kind of just adjust the sides so that it looks like it has a nice arc to it. And I'm quite happy with how it turns out. It's a very simplistic design. I'm as a builder, I don't really like to go for a bit flashy design. I like to go for very simple. So yeah, it's quite a simple build and I quite like how it turns out. I added a lot of things just to give it more colors, like this roof thingy, balcony, I don't know what you call that. Like I say, just to give it more color so it doesn't look so plain when you look from the sides. So we have a lantern here just to give it some lighting because there's like mobs and bats and everywhere. In fact, I'm still trying to settle some bat issue. And then pretty much all this area, which I never really use, I kind of stack it up with bookcases. So I think I mentioned that this part is just additional parts of the room. We don't really need this area. You see, there's a bat. There's more bats. There's bats every freaking where. Yeah, I pretty much stacked this entire room with bookcases just to give it so it doesn't look so empty. And I did it for the other houses as well. So blue houses, I also stack it with some crafting table, and so with red's houses. So that way, when we peer inside, it doesn't look like it's an empty space. I did have to adjust the roof a little bit because again, the scales just make it a little more difficult. So thank goodness we have now andesite stairs, which allows me to do this. So looks pretty good. So yeah, that's kind of done. And then I think I've also do some changes on the inside. So let's take a look at the inside. So this is Professor Oak's lab. This is based on the game. It's a 1x1 measurements, I guess. So like I say, it's actually not very big. The game may have make it look very big, or at least look more wide than this area, but it's actually really small. So you can see like there's actually not much space. And then we have Oak's lab over here. So we have the PC here, I guess, and then we have the email, which is, if you check the games, there's supposed to be an email here. I think this is supposed to be a CPU because I have no idea how to do a CPU in this Minecraft world, a small one. So I feel like this is the closest thing to a CPU I could get. We put some lanterns just to give some lighting because mobs are still spawning here. I don't really know where do they spawn. I've been trying to figure it out for quite some time, but I just couldn't figure it out. So some instructions here, which is based on the game. So we have 3 Pokeballs. We have the Fire Pokeball for Charmander, Squirtle, and obviously Bulbasaur. So yeah, very simple. Nothing too much. I didn't want to clutter this place because I didn't feel like it was very empty. The only thing I add is a carpet because I think mobs are spawning here. So I'm hoping that putting carpets, the mobs will stop spawning. So that's sort of my strategy. But other than that, I kind of like how it turns out. Add some gardens on the other side. Again, just give it some color. And yeah, the only thing we are really left out is actually the chimney. So in the anime, there's actually a chimney, and I think I mentioned that already, that I would like to build some kind of a chimney. In the original anime, it's actually behind here. That's where the chimney will be located. But since we do not have any more space, we're gonna build the chimney over here. So I have some basic design. This is my layout. I'm using like odd number here, 5 by 4, because I don't have a choice. Again, I'm very constricted by the size of the layout, and generally the Pokemon game, the anime Pokemon Red and Blue and Yellow, tends to like even number in general in all the builds and all the designs, so I'm kind of stuck there. But you know what, we're gonna make do with it. I have some idea on how I want to do it. I'm gonna do it something like this. Just give it some base. We're a bit high up as well, so it doesn't really matter if the blocks doesn't look very nice, because from here you can't really see in detail anyway, so it's kind of fine. But I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do like 5 level up. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's enough. 4. 1. I think that'll do. I think it gives it some shape, but at the same time it's not too overwhelming as well. So I'm just gonna do with this. I love creative mode. I get to experiment. Let it go. Okay, so we're gonna do like this. I think that is pretty fine. Just need to, yep. And then we're gonna add one more layer here. So this will do. Then what I'm gonna do is gonna also put some stones here. Just give it a bit of like some definition, I guess. And then I think what we'll do from here would probably be something like this. Yep. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 2. And then yep. I think this is high enough. I just don't want it to be too high. That's gonna look very disproportionate if it's too high, but I think this is just a decent size. Looks pretty okay for me. And then we're just gonna add some fireplace, because we have a new Minecraft has a new item called campfire, which is very nice. I really like it. It gives a very nice smoky effect. So what we can do is just put it over here, and then it has like a smoke effect. So it's like a chimney. It looks better than what I usually do is a netherrack with flint and steel with fire on top of it, or using spider webs. I think this looks much better. This, in the anime, there's supposed to be like the, I don't know what you call it, the wind blade, the fan blade, whatever. So we're gonna do something like that, but we're gonna do something on the back here. Doesn't matter, we're gonna go over here. And then there's gonna be 2 more over here. So this will be sort of like the base of the fan blade, I guess. What's called a fan blade? I don't know what it's called. And then I'm looking for, what am I looking for? I don't remember. No, yellow something. Yes, I want the terracotta, because I don't want it to be too bright. It's just a blade. It's not supposed to be so bright. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 1, 2. So I think this would be a pretty okay size, because again we're gonna view it from down there, not so up here, so it doesn't have to be so detailed. Just nice enough to show what it's supposed to be. It will be good enough. 1, 2, 3. I'm just mumbling. I don't know what I'm talking about. It doesn't look so good here, but I think once we get down, once again, just the size of it, it looks pretty decent. And we can't normally, if I do a windmill, it's a windmill, yes, windmill. If I don't do a windmill, I'd probably try to do a bit more design, bring a bit more thicker, but because we don't have a space to do it, this will have to do. And I think I could live with it. It's not too bad. You know, it looks like a windmill, and it'll have to do. So basically, this is the finished product of the Pallet Town, and I've done most of the designs as well. So you can see there's rose bush over here. I used rose bush over any other flowers because I think in Pokemon Silver and Gold is red flowers. So my options were either rose bush or poppies, and poppy just not nice. You know, I put up the fences, I put up the signs. All the signs here are based on the games and the fences as well. So I never read these fences before. Pallet Town, Shades of Your Journey Away. I never realized I never read this before. So yeah, I had to go back to the game just to figure it out. But yeah, this is sort of the basic design of the Pallet Town. But I already mentioned a couple of times that I didn't want to just do another Pallet Town. another recreating Pokemon in Minecraft kind of series kind of thing, because you know, as a builder, as someone who comes up from a Diamond Society, who has a lot of experience, well, not a lot, but some degree of experience in building, it's not good enough for me. You know, I feel like this place is too simple, there's a lot could be done, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to sort of revamp this area, add a bit more lighting so that when it right now I'm on permaday, but I do want it to be able to turn night eventually once this map is complete, like the normal Minecraft cycle. So I want it to be lighted up properly so that at least, you know, there's not much mobs. And yeah, so we're gonna do some roads as well, hopefully leading up to Route 1. So Route 1 is over here, as you can see the empty slot there. So we're gonna do some roads so that it leads to there. Pretty much just to give it some 3D-ness, I guess. You know, this is very 2D aside from the building. So yeah, I'm gonna work on that, and then we shall see you then.